How's it going, everybody? This video is going to show you how you can build this loan calculator application without writing a single line of code by just using GitHub Copilot agent mode. This is a live walkthrough of me building this application using GitHub Copilot in VS Code. Let me give you a quick demo of this application. So we got this mortgage calculator, type some random value here, 400,000, yes, and then let's just say 6 point something, and then let's just say 30 years, click calculate, and it gives you the monthly repayment. And then you got a car loan and a personal loan as well. So this is a basic loan calculator application. At this stage, I'm going to keep building this application live with Copilot and sometimes do custom coding as well. It's going to be an open source project. So just, let's go together and build this full-fledged application, and we're going to learn how to deploy this as well. Because it's a single page application using React, we can deploy it on GitHub Pages for anybody to use this online very, very easily. So this is the part one. There's going to be many more parts coming in where we'll add more features, enhance the functionality, and build this application using different sorts of AI. I've tried the Copilot in this part. Next, we'll try JetBrains AI. Then I'll give you a taste of different models like ChatGPT, Gemini. We will be building this application from basic to advanced level. So this is part one. Let's get started. Copilot has an agent mode available in a stable version, so we're going to be using that. This is going to be the full process of building the application using React. I will be writing a little bit of code because sometimes AI doesn't really do much. So let's get started by building a loan calculator application using GitHub Copilot in VS Code. Let's start by providing some instruction for our application to GitHub Copilot. So we have three modes: edit and agent mode. I'll start by using edit mode, and I would like to give it an instruction so that it can build the application for me. An instruction is like, I want to use the Tailwind CSS and a V for building my project. Can you use V to build a project and add Tailwind and shad CN in the project? I'm creating a loan calculator application which has ability to calculate mortgages, car loan, and personal loan, create a plan, and add all the common features for the application. Now, I want you to create a markdown file named plan as well, which lists out all the features of the application. I want my loan calculator to look professional. I'm going to be using the agent mode, but with the agent mode, I would like to give it some more instruction. First of all, if I go to Tailwind CSS and shad CN, the project has been updated, right? I would like it to use the project with the latest configuration. And I would like to provide this Tailwind documentation. Use the latest Tailwind and read this doc page. We can use this add fetch command and provide the link. The Copilot agent will read how we use read and how we use Tailwind together. And I'm going to provide a docs folder and an installation folder with read. Use this latest shad CN page to learn how to install and set up shad CN with latest Tailwind, CSS, and read. And we're going to use this fetch and actually not file, but add. So we already added the fetch command, so that means we cannot use the fetch again. So what I'll do is move this down, and then I would like to just give a couple more links, copy this, and go back to VS Code and paste it. I would like to give it another read.js page in case there's something new available. I would like to provide some page. For example, we're going to be using, let's just say, bun, or we can use npm, doesn't matter. I'm going to copy this and paste this there. I would like to give it an instruction how it should create my project. Project name loan calculator. Create command should be this command. Npm create read and we can give it a template. We use this React JS, so template React, but it should ask me to do that. Let's go ahead and click on this button. It will execute, take all the instructions, and it will try to create application for us. So we'll just click on this. And this is the first time we're giving it instructions. So let's see what it does. It's asking me that fetch untrusted web pages. You need to click on continue to go to those pages and fetch the latest information. Now it's generating a plan to create a new workspace. Getting setup information. It's asking me, hey, do you want to create a new application? I'll click on continue and it's going to open a template for me. And as you can see, it is giving me a recommendation about the loan calculator. So we'll go to terminal and say, now the project is being scaffolded properly. As you can see here, we use the vanilla JavaScript because it's already know that we got the React. Now, once that command is done, don't do anything because as you can see, this loader is actually still following your instruction to do the next step. I know the cursor is a great text editor / AI tool, but this time you can see how the GitHub Copilot performs against the cursor. So let's wait for this next command. It is still trying to create a project. It now asks me to do an npm install, which I did. I'll click on continue, and now all the packages installed. So now it says the React project using Vite has been successfully scaffolded in the current directory. I'm now installing the necessary packages. So now, as you can see, it is trying to install Tailwind, but I want to validate this information because if I go into Tailwind, and what we need to do is using Tailwind with the Vite is pretty straightforward actually. I don't need a post CSS or anything. I'll just copy this, and instead of this, I don't need that command, so I'll just do npm run install Tailwind and Tailwind Vite project in the loan calculator. And for this command, I would like it to say do not install post CSS and auto prefixer because they are not required in the latest version of Tailwind CSS. Let's just see what it does. And now it's fetching the installation and everything again. So I've gathered the necessary information, and now it says, yep, that's what we need. This is good. So click on continue and it's going to install that. Now it's saying npm install -d Vite plugin chatcn. So we go to Firefox and search for this. How do we use chatcn with Vite is by, let's just say with npm. We'll just need to install the Vite plugin. That's good. And then we need to create an index.cs file, which we already have, and copy this file. Let's go down. And then we need a Vite config. So far, so good, but this could be a problem because I'm not sure what that plugin is. So we just do npm and this plugin, and Vite plugin chats in Teams. If I go to installation and we just say Vite and then import this, that's pretty much it. Copy this link. There is no v-plugin.chatcn. So use this page, which only needs add import Tailwind CSS in index.css file. We just paste that link and enter, and let's just see the agent remembers that or not. And I hope it does because I've already given him enough information. Imagine you have to do a lot of work to be able to, create these kind of applications, but the agent will do that. So now it says, I will now create Tailwind stuff, and we're just going to give it a little bit of space, and it is now adding this CSS, which is okay. And I would like to see the plan.readme file. The plan.readme file is important that I'm going to refer the agent to keep looking at, and it's going to have a lot of features. So let's just say, okay, that's good. So we'll just say keep, And for this Tailwind, I would like to go to Firefox and we just say, or I just need this bit. I don't need the other stuff. And if we use the tsconfig, then we have this bit. We are using, we'll just say import Tailwind CSS and then get rid of this. For these colors, we can just leave it for now. And we can just say keep. Here we have this preview read, and then init shadcn latest and shadcn add command. Yes, keep it. I think this is a default read config, so we'll just keep that. No, okay. So let's go ahead and then we can just refer the plan.md file. Read the plan.md file and create pages. But before we do that, we're just gonna run the application. So we go to package.json and we're just gonna run this script dev. And I would like this 5174 to see if I can localhost 5174 and see if the page loads if there are any errors or not. So let's go to console. Our application is working, so that's good. And the Tailwind should be working as well. Let's verify that. We go to app.js file and find a Tailwind class, flex. And I'm gonna just use another div, and I'm gonna give a class name. Here's a flex and flex column. And then here, I'm gonna create h1 to loan calculator. And we're gonna put in a div, copy this bit and paste it here. Go to our application. As you can see, this is now having the Tailwind CSS integrated, so which is great. Now let's go ahead and add context and use a plan. I would like it to create all the pages for loan application and follow the plan.md file for features and pages, and remove the existing code in app.jsx and unused CSS as well. Let's give it an instruction and a plan. I'm going to just move the plan here and say what it's doing. So app.js file now it's being modified, and it's going to make directory pages and touch all these pages. Okay, continue. So now I created a folder structure called pages. You can see it has created home, mortgage loan, personal loan, and column, which is great. And now it's saying the pages are done. Home, car loan, mortgage, loan. That's good. We're going to keep all of it and save. Once saved, then we just go in here and rerun the application. So we just go to dev script, run it, and let's see if it works. Go here, and now we have a problem. The React router DOM is not updated yet. So it's like, it's no longer the DOM, but it's just a React router. So what I'm going to do is install React router, because I don't think we have a React router installed yet. So what I'm going to do is search for React router and then installation. And as you can see here, this is really a framework now as well, but we just need a React router. So we'll just go ahead and create a new terminal. And then in here, I'm going to paste that command to create a router. All right, so we have the router installed. And then now we can just say fetch, and we're going to give it a link. And then we're going to give it a routing link, read and learn for latest router docs to understand how to install and use it, and set up the routes for all pages. So I'll just say continue read the React router it will update that. So right now it's like browser router, as router, and I don't want those things. I just want a router. We can just use the exact router. In the main, we have this strict mode and app.js has a router. So it says install the React router DOM. Okay, let's just say done. Now we're gonna go in here and run the application again, package the JSON, and then run script dev. Let's go to the browser. That's our application now. Welcome to the loan calculator. If I click on these pages, this should just take us to the pages now. All right, that's good. I want you to set up the routes and the links. In the main routes is set homepage. Now we can make the navigation work for all the pages. Let's see what it does. I want the app.js to just use the browser router, not as router. So we'll just go ahead and then just say, okay, let it do its thing first. Then we're going to use the browser router. And that's it. In here, we're going to use the browser router as well. Now there's a problem. Agent mode should be able to deal with this problem. I'm going to tell it to resolve the problem as well. Let's kill it and then run it again. So this time I'm going to run task and npm dev. And then we'll go in here and refresh. Now here's a React router DOM because the problem is this guy doesn't know the React router. So I'm going to tell it. React router doesn't export things from React router DOM. Instead, just use React router. Let's see if it fixes it and learns it for the next time. So it's a search for text React router, DOM to React router, and that should just update. Okay, that's good. Let's keep it, save, and the application is now running. Now if I go into mortgage, car loan, and personal loan. Okay, so now let's go into the plan.md file. Calculate monthly and day split. So let's go to the mortgage loan and I'm going to add the context to this now. So mortgage loan. And I'll just say implement mortgage loan calculator and read plan.md file. So going here, add context. We need an MD file for, and let's just go ahead and let it do its thing. And let's see if it implements that loan calculator or not. So it's creating some functions now. I want it to use the shad cn instead of just this default HTML stuff. Now I'm going to give it some component. Make the page, make the loan calculator in the center, use Tailwind CSS to make it look professional. Agent mode in the Copilot hasn't been great. I'm actually going to switch to the edit mode. The edit mode should do a lot better than the agent mode as I've used it in the past. So I'm just going to say make a loan calculator in the center, use Tailwind CSS to make it look professional, and use input, drop down, and button. We can just say create input and drop down and button components in components TS file, components folder, and make them reusable so we could use them everywhere. All right, let's see if we can do that. I'm going to add a context and we'll just get a code base and let's just say what it does. So edit mode is a little different because I've used the edit mode. It does better when it comes to editing code. The edit mode is pretty advanced in the VS Code Insider. For me, it hasn't been really great. Now it is updating the mortgage loan to use the reusable input drop-down button components, center content using Tailwind CSS, and now it's creating an input component here, a button component, and a drop-down component as well. So let's just say, let's keep it. See, it updated the plan as well. So as you can see, this is working much better than the agent mode. Create a drop-down component as well. Now let's just see if we can do that, and it should remember where I want to create. Yep, that's good. We'll go ahead and then say, yep, keep it, and then done. Let's save everything. Let's go into the Firefox and see if our application is looking a little better. Now we're going to go to mortgage loan GSX, and I'm going to ask it to make this page look professional, make some spacing and padding, and update the color scheme, which we will use across the application. Update the plan.md file, which is like specification of this project. And I'm going to add a context to code base, and let's just see here. And I'm going to create a screenshot and also give it a Copilot so it knows how the UI is looking right now, and it could probably make it much better. All right, let's see what it does. So far, so good. It's updating the plain.md file, made some changes, and consistent color scheme to be shades of blue and white for a clean professional look, spacing and padding improvements for better readability. Keep it, save, and let's see, refresh. It is still not looking great. So let's go to the home page. All right, let's go into home page, add a home page, and we're going to say, make this home page look pretty, look nicer and professional. Make the blue and white color scheme and move the title to top and title and subtitle. Create tabs like UI for pages and use router outlet to switch to the pages. What I wanted to do is to use router outlet to switch to different pages while being in a home page instead of just navigating to different pages. So let's see what it does. And the router outlet should be somewhere here. So let's see. We're going to go to app.json file. Let's take a look at our page. I think there's something wrong. It's not updating the application. We can just update the routing in app.jsx to use outlet. Let's see if we can update this router outlet to do a nested routing. Now we have a nested routing. Keep it, save, and run the dev again. Let's see what happens. I don't think there's a bug, but let's just save it. It's still not rendering. So here we got the nested routes now, which is good. And I want this to have a default route. So let's just say the index to true. Save, refresh, and there is an error. And I'm not sure what is the error. Okay, so I can't find an error here. I'm not sure what's going on. So let's open this again, 5174, and the page is not loading. So what is going on? If I go ahead and just move this not in the nested way, so that's your route, that's your route. We're gonna do this. Let's see if that loads. Let's go. Okay, so the nested routing is actually working. And I'm going to save this and go back to the home page. A home page is still not so good. So we're going to make the home page nicer. So make the top header, which stays on the top, and create tabs UI for pages. Let's just say if we can fix it or not. Otherwise, we'll just go ahead and start creating the functionality for our application. Enhance the homepage top header and tabs like UI for navigation. I'm not using any UI component library, but we could use it if we wanted to make the UI a little bit quicker. But let's just see with the plain Tailwind CSS what we can achieve. All right, so let's go to the homepage. Still not great. There's something wrong with it. It's not following the guideline. So what I'm going to do is finish up the functionality. So we're going to go to Flex, save it, doesn't go up there. So let's not worry about it for now. And we're going to go to the mortgage loan. Now here is the functionality that we're supposed to be able to do. So we're going to do 400, and then we're going to do 6% and ready. Just click on calculate. So monthly repayment it's saying is 239, which is 40,000, so 400,000. Let's just say 6.34, calculate, and that's the payment. So if I change this to 425, yes, the calculation is correct for this. Now let's go to personal loan, and I'm going to add this personal loan, implement personal loan feature as well. Let it do its thing. And I actually don't want the index.css. I don't want that. The problem is the Tailwind is not working as expected. If you look at the Tailwind, there is a problem. You can't use Tailwind. If we save, keep it, refresh, and here's our personal loan amount enters. Now let's implement the car loan page as well. We need this plugin. So Tailwind from Weed, copy that, and in the Weed, just copy this. And for the plugin, we're gonna use Tailwind. And now we should see a little fancier loan calculator. This is the actual loan calculator that we were supposed to have. And as you can see, there are some nicer stuff happening now. So car loan, personal loan, and mortgage loan. And if I start typing, there's a problem. So I'm going to go to the home page. And here we got this background gradient tool from blue 50 to blue hundreds. I don't want this gradient, and I don't want this rounded algae. Let's see if that does it. Nope, doesn't work. So we don't want to do that. So I'll just go to app.sys file, and I don't want any of this. Okay, so now this is kind of like a full screen. So we don't need all of this. That's it. As you can see, the loan calculator is looking good. Now the problem with these input fields really don't have the values. If I type something, it doesn't add. Okay, so we're going to go into input component. And here we're going to fix input component styling using Tailwind CSS. The value color should be black. Let's just see if we can do it or not. Okay, keep it, save all. So that's now fixed. Now what I'm gonna do here is for mortgage loan calculator. If I click on calculator, it says nan, but so far we good. So for the first version, it's okay. I'm gonna go to the home page, and I want the navigation to go in the sticky header on the right. Let's just see if it does it. Let's keep it, save, and there you go. I don't need underline. Move hover underline and have hover color darker than the actual current color. Make it look like button with hover. Let's see what it can do for this link component. Let's save. There we go. It looks much cleaner, much better now. So let's see if it's responsive as well. So right now, this is like, this page. So I don't want that. We're going to go to here, and I don't want that div to have a full screen color. So let's refresh. Add the context to the code base. Remove the scroll from home page. It should not have a scroll as the content is not big, large enough. Make the page and full application responsive. Only show scroll if needed. So let's see if it's gonna do its thing. It should just go through the code base and make the application fully responsive. So right now I don't want this scroll. This is like, top is like a sticky ones, but it's still not big enough to have a scroll. So we might want to have the main padding as a P8, whatever, but it should do its thing now. Okay, so that's not good now, because as you can see here, what we're gonna do is revert the code. There you go. That's much better, but we'll come back to it. So if I just do like 425,000 and 6.34, and then over the 30 years, say calculated, that's the monthly repayment. But we're gonna create some more features to this application, and then we will deploy this. This is gonna be a fun project, and I'm gonna make it open source, and we're gonna deploy it for people to use as well. All right, that's it for this video, guys. See you in the next part of this course.